made an offer to anybody. I just made a real offer. There's a real offer to Floyd.
25 for each fighter.
25 each.
Split the pay-per-view.
And then you split the pay-per-view at a certain number. You know, obviously, a lot of things to dig in and a lot of things to
if you talk to Conor today, what is his sensibility on this fight? Floyd's talking nonstop. What does Conor think about this potential fight?
I'm going to tell you why Conor McGregor is still doing over 1 million pay-per-view buys and Floyd isn't. Because Conor McGregor will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime, including Floyd Mayweather. He absolutely is that guy. Whether Conor fights Floyd or he doesn't, there's a line of guys that are ready to fight Conor, that Conor will fight, that are going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys. You know what I mean? Sure. Conor McGregor loves the fight, and he is one of those guys that will take on anybody, anywhere. Floyd keeps putting this thing on his social media of Conor getting choked by Diaz, you know, but Conor fights. Conor is, I'm the guy that stands in the living room and tells you your opponent fell out or is on the phone, and I know how all these guys react when it happens. Nobody reacts the way Conor McGregor does.
If Dana White, president UFC, let's say they fight and Mayweather won, would it hurt the UFC brand?
No, listen, we like making fights that people are interested in. We like putting on entertainment, you know, events, whatever. So no, I listen.
You're not paralyzed by
as long as the people who buy the pay-per-view or bought the tickets are excited with what happened that night, how do you lose? How do you lose in a scenario where you put on a great night of fights for people? That's the thing. That's why, in my opinion, do I think that Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor would be the best fight you've ever seen? Probably not, but it'll be pretty damn exciting. But I'm going to build an entire card underneath it. I'll have another title fight, and I'll stack the card like it was at Madison Square Garden. So you're guaranteed that night to at least get your money's worth, unlike the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight.
This may be a boring question for my audience, but I know that you run the UFC, and I know that you are the promoter for the UFC. I don't know who runs boxing. So when you negotiate this stuff, who do you negotiate with on that side?
Yeah, it would be interesting on Floyd's side. You know, I guarantee it's not going to be Floyd. Floyd has a lot of input on what's going on, but Floyd isn't going in and doing the deals. There's no Don King.
No,
but he has a manager. He has a guy who
would say for his side, we got a deal?
I don't know.
I know who your side. Well, Conor's ready to fight.
Well, don't you think it's funny? Floyd's claiming that he made these offers. I don't even know who we would do. You know what I mean? There was no offer ever made to anybody, ever, until 2 minutes ago. A real offer has been made.
$25 million for both fighters, split pay-per-view. If now, my guess is Floyd wouldn't like that, because Floyd's ego is I'm the bigger fighter, even though you've laid out that he doesn't have the pay-per-view leverage that he used to have.
Right, and here's the thing: Manny Pacquiao ended up doing that fight at and you hear all these numbers thrown around, but it's something like Floyd got 250, Manny got 100. You know, it's still a lot of money for both guys, but there's no big fight without Manny. Manny was as important in that fight as Floyd was.
Would Conor take less to get the fight? If push came to shove and you're in a room with Conor and you're saying, Conor, we can get this, but you got to take slightly less.
Conor can do whatever. There's a list of guys lined up to fight Conor McGregor that would love to fight Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's going to fight all day long, and he's going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys, and he's going to do fine. And if for Floyd Mayweather to think that kid hasn't made $8 to $10 million, you know, it just goes to show you what we're dealing with here.
Dana White, let me just, you said, because one of the things that you've done very well, and even before I knew you, I had written in my first book about this, you have kind of owned Saturday night. Like NFL's like Sunday. You know, I mean, that's really important.
Right.
Like you became a sport, not only became a sport, but you started owning a night. That's a big deal, like March Madness.
And when we started, we had to go on Friday because boxing owned that night.
That's right.
On Saturday night.
So this is a big part of your business is Saturday night's UFC night. So you build these cards. I'm just going to throw a name out to you. Is Ronda Rousey going to fight again? Because I didn't think I'm not sure if she looks like you got to be all in this sport. You got to be 100%. I don't know, Dana, if she's all in.
Right. Listen, she trained hard for that fight. She wanted that fight. She was mentally and physically ready for that fight. But, she knows what happened. I don't. I'll tell you what, of all the people that were actually defending Ronda Rousey, one of the biggest ones was Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate said, look, me tell you what, say what you want about Ronda Rousey. Amanda Nunes hits like a truck. She fought her first. She beat 2 back-to-back legends. So, I don't know. Ronda and I haven't talked. We text. Yesterday was the first day that we started texting. And even if, it was just a regular fight, the fight that's going to happen this Sunday, I don't mess with the fighters for a while. I let them have some time off. And, Ronda and I will talk soon and see what she wants to do.
There was a point, Dana White joining us, he has made an offer, Dana has, to Floyd Mayweather, $25 million for both he and Conor McGregor, and they split the pay-per-view. What is your current relationship? And this is okay, because promoters historically and fighters, the great fighters are artists. Ali was an artist. I mean, Tyson, many of the fighters they're big personalities.
Right.
Fighting is the most humbling moment anybody could have.
Right.
You're in your underwear, 100 million people watching. Okay, so you're dealing with temperamental athletes. What is your current relationship with Conor?
Yeah, I've always, there's a lot of people who play off this relationship thing with me and Conor. I have a great relationship with Conor. I mean, could I possibly speak more respectful about him? And it's not like, Conor needs any more encouragement on how great he is.
Right.
And everything else. But it is what it is. I call it like it is. Conor McGregor is special. He's a special, not only, does he, can he talk the talk? He goes out and he backs it up. He's fat. Watch the weigh-ins are amazing, and he always delivers on fight night. And he is truly a guy who will fight anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Do you believe he respects Floyd Mayweather, who is more of a scoring boxer than a knockout guy, more avoiding punches than landing them? Do you think he respects Floyd?
I'm sure he does, And if you look at Floyd and Conor, there's a lot of similarities there in their personalities and the way that they act. They both like money. They both like really nice things. And they both like to show you all their nice things. They're similar in a lot of ways. And even though I say whatever to Floyd, and Floyd and I get into it a lot, but what Floyd has accomplished to go undefeated for 20 years
is amazing.
Listen, even if, say what you want about him, a lot of people will criticize this and that. To go undefeated that long is very, very tough to do. Not every night is your night, but every night Floyd Mayweather has gone out, it's been his night.
Okay,
so listen, everyone's talking around the big news. Dana White made an offer. $25 million to you, $25 million to Conor, and a part of the pay-per-view buys.
You fucking comedian.
How do you respond to that?
You fucking comedian.
No deal.
I'm thinking about it. Look at my watch I bought. Look at that Hublot. Get that Hublot. Get that watch. Get that Hublot.
That is a nice watch.
You know how much that is?
That is insane.
You know how much that costs?
How much?
Look it up. Put it up.
It's a nice one. It's all right. So we told no deal. No deal.
Man, look at my watch. Man. Look at my watch. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the watch.
All right, sounds good. I'll see you.
If you like what you just saw and you want to see more videos of your favorite athletes, crazy stories, and just all the best off.
Conor, how's he doing right now? Because
Conor's good. I'm leaving Conor alone. Conor's having a baby, man. So I'm leaving him alone, letting him do his thing. I saw recently. Was that you that got Floyd when he said he's going to slap Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Let me tell you what. You interviewed Floyd, right?
I have.
You had to aim the camera down here, right? Floyd's about this tall, okay? His hands are like peanut brittle. He has to wrap them a million times so he doesn't break his hands. Floyd better hope he don't run into Conor on the street. Let me tell you what, Conor, not only will Conor kick his ass, he'll kick the shit out of every one of his security guards too. So, 100%. 100%. I would love to be there when Floyd tries to slap Conor McGregor.
Well, that's what he said. He said on his...
I promise you, Floyd, you will never try to walk up and slap Conor McGregor, and you know it too.
Well, I gotta ask, because you've been hearing this again the past few weeks. Do you think, as a fight fan, it's never gonna happen?
It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Yes. Let me tell you what. That fight will happen before Floyd walks up and tries to slap Conor. I promise you that too. He'll kick his head to another planet, and then he'll murder every one of his security guards.
Do you think Floyd is definitely done?
No, I don't know if he's done. I mean, he could probably come back and he'll have a boxing match. I don't take away from what Floyd's accomplished in boxing, but he's stepping way over He's stepping way over, thinking he's gonna slap Conor. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Nate Diaz apparently wants $20 million to fight next. Is he going to see $20 million?
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Hey, I never say never. Never say never.
If you like what you just saw and you want to see more videos,
I already know you got your response in to Dana White offering $25 million. I think the last time you made $25 million was like 10 years ago in the Oscar De La Hoya fight. But let me just ask you.
Well, if you don't know, I want to tell everybody this. The last time I made $25 million, I made more, but last time I made $25 million was 10 years ago.
Wow.
I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just telling the truth. I'm appreciative and thankful. $25 million is still great money.
Sure.
But
it's not Mayweather money.
Well, you know, for the last, I don't know how many years, my guaranteed lowest is be like 32, a little bit over 32. That's my lowest. But you'll also know that in the Canelo fight, you know, I made over $100 million in that fight. And then in a Pacquiao, just in 2 fights.
Oh my God.
Pacquiao and Canelo, those 2 fights, somewhere upwards of 400 million. I mean, probably $400 million or better. And just me and sponsorship money leading up to the Pacquiao fight. That week, I made somewhere 25 to 30 million.
Wow. That's crazy.
So these are my numbers. You know, they can say Floyd lying all they want to. If I was so desperate and hurting for money, I'll come back.
You still be fighting.
Okay.
So just, let me just ask you, do you think that was his way of putting an offer out in the media but not really wanting to make the fight?
I don't want to talk to Dana White. Remember, Dana White, he was a player, he was a boss, but he was a small boss. You know, the big bosses were the Fertittas.
Yeah.
But then Fertittas choose to sell the UFC, so Dana is just an employee. Dana White, I like Dana White, I don't have anything against him, but I can remember Dana White used to hang around me and Jeff Mayweather and carry my bags.
Yes.
I remember Dana White, you know, I remember he used to carry my bags. And remember Dana White, I showed you love.
You did.
You had the little Bullenbizer patch I wore on my trunks for you, Dana. I've always been good to you. But then all of a sudden he cut his head bald, and he's such a tough guy. He's such a tough guy. All I gotta say is this. Why every time Conor McGregor go out there and fight, Dana White is still an employee, but Dana White makes more money than Conor McGregor when McGregor go out there and fight.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing off. It's all about Mayweather Promotions.
Always. Thank you, champ. Appreciate you, man.
Well, man.